I'm going to be your presenter. My name is Garrison Anderson. I work on the marketing team here at Matter. And the info session today, thank you all for joining. This is meant to be an overview of Matter's membership options and what we do for healthcare startups that are looking to advance their solution to healthcare and how Matter can help. So we have a bit of a small group here today. I'll share some slides and kind of give a brief overview of everything. And then feel free to submit questions via the chat throughout the presentation. We can have some back and forth after it. I'm also joined by Caitlin Peterson, who works on our venture acceleration team and does some great work with our mentors and our different programs we have as well, and some of which I will be talking about here. Um, so I'm going to share my screen. One moment. All right, Caitlin, I believe if you can give me a thumbs up that you
Yes.
see it. Great, awesome. All right, so I'll give a brief overview about Matter and then dive in a little bit deeper to the membership options we have for healthcare startups. So at Matter, our mission is to accelerate the pace of change of healthcare. And our core belief is that through collaboration between entrepreneurs and industry leaders, that is the fastest way to cultivate innovation and advance care and hopefully improve lives as we advance that care. So Matter really tries to be at the center of all this and be that connective glue and tissue in order to foster that innovation. Um, I'll talk a little bit about each one of these three things. The presentation today will dive deeper into our startup incubation work. But beyond startup incubation, we also at Matter try to be a community nexus where we convene people across healthcare, whether that's people that are building solutions, people that are in the health systems, in the payer space, that are delivering care, that are being providers, that are working on the reimbursement side of care as well. So those that invest in healthcare startups, we want to be the center connective point of that group of people. So we call ourselves a community nexus and we try to host events and bring people in and have opportunity to meet as a community. And then we also do corporate innovation work. So another facet of Matter is corporate innovation. This is where we partner with large healthcare organizations in order to help them be more forward thinking and more innovative. This can take a few different forms. Sometimes we put on summits, workshops, forums with these large organizations, or we'll also have bespoke pitch competitions and bespoke accelerators that are meant to advance a solution that a large organization may be interested in. But today we're primarily going to talk about startup incubation through our memberships that we offer at Matter. So just kind of giving a little scope, broader scope, and letting folks know what we're going to talk about today. So Matter is one of the largest community of healthcare innovators and entrepreneurs in the world. So at a large level, I kind of want to give a scope look. So Matter's worked with over 1,100 startups from across the globe, 150 leading hospitals, organizations, and universities. That 1,100 startups have raised throughout their lifespan $5.4 billion in capital. And we do have a lot of touch points to individuals that are interested in healthcare, innovation, entrepreneurship, and we have a broad reach of over 67,000 contacts. And then on the right, you can see kind of a breakdown of the startups and the partners that we work with. So our startup sector, we do primarily work with digital health companies, but we do also touch life sciences and services companies, as well as some companies that are direct to consumer. I will also say within the digital health bucket, there are medical devices as well that may have a digital health component. So we do work with medical device companies as well. And then for our partners of that 150 leading hospitals, organizations, and universities, 30% of those are in the provider and services bucket. 25% fall within life sciences. We also do work with associations. So, for instance, we're collaborating with the American Heart Association on an accelerator program right now, and then 15% payer and 10% university. So this is just kind of giving you a sense of the broader Matter community beyond the startups we work with. So in 2025, a little bit about our startup footprint. We worked with 272 startups in 2025 that span 75 cities and 11 countries. Matter is based in Chicago, Illinois, but we are a global accelerator and incubator. We work with companies all across the globe. We do say we're a Chicago DNA organization, but we do have a broader scope as well. So today, as I said, we're going to talk a bit about startup membership at Matter, and I want to kind of paint a picture of the roadmap startups go through when they first apply to Matter, and then give a sense of some of the programs and services we offer as well. So a lot of the programs and services we offer falls into three large buckets of things we try to help startups with. We want to help startups build their business capabilities. We find that a lot of startups we do work with maybe have a scientific background and they're a researcher and they maybe are trying to develop a solution and bring it to market, but maybe they haven't had that business background before. So Matter has a broad scope of experts we work with and people that can help in that sort of business building lane. We do also help with developing fundraising capabilities, primarily in helping with making sure companies are ready to fundraise. We don't do fundraising or raise funds for our startups, but we do prepare them to be in front of investors, pitch their solutions, and make sure all of their materials are up to speed. And then we do have a broad base of healthcare executives that volunteer with Matter and help our startups advance their solutions. And I'll talk a bit more about that coming up. So once you do apply to become a Matter member, this is for our select membership that I'll talk a bit more about, but I want to give a sense of the journey of once you apply, what happens. So if you do apply to become a select member, you will be reached out to have an interview. And the interview is really about making sure that you're a right fit for the membership. That being said, we really support a lot of pre-seed to Series A companies. And this interview isn't about making sure you've hit certain milestones. It's more making sure that we think Matter can help you advance in your solution more quickly. So that's really what the interview is about. After the interview, there's a 1 week review period where we'll kind of assess the fit and the startup application. And if we think we can support you, we'll provide acceptance into Matters Incubator. And then you go through an onboarding process of filling out some paperwork and things like that. And then after onboarding, you have an assessment where we provide this assessment to understand more in depth your company. And then you'll have a discovery call with the Matter team in order to determine how we can best help you and move forward from there in helping advance your solution. So, talking a little bit about mentorship and coaching at Matter, we have about 20 plus executives and residents that once you go through our discovery assessment process and when you're onboarding as a member, we will figure out who the best executive in residence is for your solution. And they will be your primary coach and primary point person to provide support while you're a part of Matter. These executives and residents often have decades of experience in healthcare in various areas or have built companies themselves and exited those companies as well. So they are really your point person throughout the entire experience at Matter. Then we also have the expert clinic, which we have more than 100 mentors who offer their subject matter expertise on a monthly basis. They all volunteer about 2 to 4 hours of their time to be able to speak on different topics that perhaps you need some insight on, whether it's something like SOC 2 or HIPAA compliance. If you don't understand that or aren't coming from the healthcare world, that's an opportunity to meet with someone who understands that subject matter expertise, and you can get more insights while you're looking in that area. And then you also have ongoing support from the Matter team with the Venture Acceleration team. When you're coming into Matter, you'll be assigned a point person with the Matter team, and they'll give some customer success calls throughout your time here to make sure you're able to leverage the resources and are getting value out of the membership as well. I do want to cover a little bit of how we do fundraising support at Matter. I will say we don't provide direct like funding to any of our companies. We have a venture acceleration fellow, Jason Smith, who is an investor himself. He has exited multiple companies, and he provides some support in giving you honest feedback of where your company's at, what your pitch is like, where that may need to be improved. And then we also do provide some review of the different materials you have. And all of this is to really make sure all of your materials are up to par with what we would expect a investor to look for out of a meeting, and make sure you're prepared to have those kind of interactions uh, going into the marketplace. We also do have a wealth of on-demand digital resources available through our portal. So we have a digital curriculum with a number of courses on various topics across healthcare. We have a professional services directory, which is a list of vendors that have worked with healthcare startups in the past. They may provide a preferred rate to Matter companies, but companies within this professional services directory are great resources for healthcare startups because they've worked with them in the past. Their rates may be more approachable than larger organizations. And that's really a great place to start if you're looking to perhaps hire a fractional service, if you're looking to find marketing vendors, if you're looking for legal firms for different things you may need. So that's really the role of the professional services directory. We also do have a knowledge library that has some templates and different things outlined that could be valuable. We have a pitch template for pitching your company and what that looks like, and a number of other resources. And then through our portal as well, we do have access to the mentor booking for the expert clinic that I mentioned earlier. So companies that join Matter are joining a dynamic community. So we have a number of elements of that dynamic community. We have member exclusive opportunities. We host monthly webinars where we'll bring in an expert or a speaker to provide a seminar to our companies, and then we give our companies the opportunity to ask questions and engage with that speaker. We also do have some other member exclusive opportunities like private informative conversations and other ways to engage with the industry and investors. And then companies with their select membership also have an HQ away from home and access to our co-working space, meeting rooms, and event space. And then we do also have a Slack channel for all of our members as well. So I'm going to talk about our two membership tiers. Everything I've described up to this point is a part of our select membership, which is $400 a month. We don't take equity in any of our companies, so we're a little bit unique in the accelerator incubator model for that reason. There are no additional fees, and it is a month-to-month membership. We've seen in the past companies, when they're in a high growth stage, they'll be a part of Matter for a period of time, 6 months, 2 years. On average, companies spend about 2 years at Matter. And then sometimes when they get out of a growth stage, they'll step away for a bit, but we take no offense to that. It's month to month. We do see companies come into the accelerator incubator and then step away from it and then come back to it as well. So there's no catch on where you need to sign on for a year or anything like that. Um, and so that's an overview of Select, and it includes everything I've talked about up until this point. And then we do have a Flex membership, which is free, but it only allows access to our digital resources. So that would be our digital curriculum, the professional services directory, and the knowledge library. It doesn't include any of that hands-on support, any of that collaborative elements of accelerating a company and getting insights that way as well. So that's a broad overview of our two memberships at Matter. So I will stop sharing my screen and just jump in uh, and open it up for questions. So if anyone has questions, both Caitlin and I can speak to the membership and would be happy to answer any that have come up.
Hey, Garrison, this is Nick. Thanks for going through this. Just a quick question around the membership. So this one's 400. I thought I saw something online as well, and you may have went through it a little bit. There's a potentially a free option as well, or is there just this one tier?
Yeah, so what I mentioned, all the services are within that $400 a month membership. The free tier is just access to our digital resources. So our digital curriculum, which is some recorded courses, the knowledge library, and the professional services directory. Um, and that's kind of our freemium type offering where it's really meant for people that are interested in healthcare entrepreneurship and want to explore it a bit more, but maybe aren't at the stage where they've developed a company and want to pursue it full time. So that's kind of the differentiation I would make for it.
Second question on that:
Yeah.
where are you seeing companies typically come in to join the $400 mark when you're saying around feeling good about being in a situation? Is it at a certain ARR stage? Is it product market fit? Is it they're running some pilots with customers? Like where are you typically seeing the best companies come into this that take the most advantage and succeed the best?
Yeah. Um, Caitlin, do you want to try answering this? Or I'd also be happy to, but you're looking at some of these hands-on as well. So
Yeah, no, so as Garrison mentioned, we support companies as early as pre-seed to Series A. I will say we do see a lot of early stage founders entering the membership. So we work with a lot of pre-seed companies as well as seed companies as well, which I say is our sweet spot for our portfolio right now.
yeah, and I would say as far as like what stage they're at, so taking it out of the investor terms, it is maybe more companies that we do work with companies that haven't raised their first institutional investment, but have that idea and have maybe a prototype or something fully formed that they want to pursue. Sometimes we do frame it as like, are you looking at this full time or are you looking at this part time just to have commitment level? And we have worked with companies to get to that pre-seed stage once they have that idea and prototype. So I hope that helps give a little different lens to it as well.
Yeah, no, that does. And is that something that we can, I imagine, can also talk through more if the conversations continue as well, I imagine. So that's
Yeah.
next. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and I would highlight to that point, there's no problem in applying and having that interview because that's partially what the interview is about is to have that more in-depth conversation of where your company's at and making sure it's the right time that you can get value out of the membership. So if you're kind of on the fence about it, I would say apply and go through the interview process. That'll allow a chance for you to have a more in-depth discussion with Caitlin and Mike, our director of venture acceleration, to really get into the nitty-gritty that maybe isn't where you want to have it on a call with a bunch of people. So
Sounds good. I appreciate it.
are there any other questions I can help answer at this
Yeah,
time?
Garrison, did you say that the professional services directory was uh, part of the free option?
Yeah, so that is
Yeah,
part of the free option. You'll see access to it. If you do join the free option, you'll be able to access our portal and explore our resources there as well. And that includes the professional services
got it.
directory.
Okay, thank you.
And then I'm going to drop in here in the chat just our web page that includes kind of a lot of what I've discussed here. And then you can kind of see the split out of the two memberships as well.
I have a quick question. My name is Gulam. I'm a resident physician here in Chicago. I have an idea, and as a matter of fact, actually, I think I have a minimal viable product. It's at the very early stage. I'm wondering through Matter, are there opportunities we can connect and potentially find a co-founder or somebody else that we could collaborate? Do we have such networking opportunity?
Um, I would say yes. So I hear this a lot of different people, and I always encourage them to um, be involved in Matter and go to different networking events. And we can provide some of those resources as well, because really finding that right co-founder is a big thing. And being involved in the entrepreneurial space in Chicago is a good way to find it if you're looking for a particular person that complements your skill set. Um, but yeah, I can send some resources along to you of that. We don't do like a specific matchmaking thing where Matter has a pool of like people looking for fellow co-founders, but I just encourage an engagement in the community because I think that's the best way to find the right people.
Thank you.
Garrison, I had another question as well.
Yeah, go for it, Nick.
So you all are in the Merch Mart, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That's what I thought. I used to walk by the office heading to work. So, do you all do meet and greets? Like, I think another piece here
Yeah.
is curious if that's something that you all do for, any folks that are maybe looking into the program and, trying to get some face time and get a little bit more in detail around what Matter's about.
Yeah, of course. So actually we do host monthly, we call them coffee connections and co-working. So those are essentially meet and greets where it's an opportunity for those based out of Chicago to come into the Matter space, see the co-working space, but also get to know some folks on the Matter team and kind of get an in-person feel of Matter. And that's an opportunity to not only meet people that are interested in startups and entrepreneurship, but other folks as well who maybe are working in hospitals, who are maybe working with consultancies. It's a wide group of people, but that is a great opportunity for that.
Okay.
And then I will actually, while you brought up that question, I will drop link to the event page for the coffee connections and co-working sessions. Um, and they are completely free to attend. I will also say if maybe healthcare entrepreneurship isn't the avenue you're going down, but you're looking for co-working space, Matter does also have a co-working subscription model where we allow people to buy day passes to co-work out of Matter for $20 a day or $180 a month for a monthly co-working subscription. So to just tag that on. All right. Well, I will kind of wrap up here if there are no more questions, but feel free to email me or reach out at any point if you have any additional questions. My email is garrison@matter.health, and we will follow up with a recording to this session in the next day or so. And yeah, feel free to reach out. Thank you for attending. And I would just say if you're on the fence of applying, just feel free to go ahead and apply. And that discovery process of going through the interview is very helpful to make sure it's a good fit for you. So thanks for attending and have a great day.